I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. To my side are my noble and hairy are Taylor Hoyt.
What's up?
Maddie Lynn.
Hello.
And of course, joining us, regular guest, Ben Moore.
I'm sorry my webcam looks like trash. This is the best I could do.
It's all good.
You're a minion of the dark. It's fine.
Yep.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we have had Ben on.
I know, I'm trying to think of how long.
I think it was last year around November.
I mean, it was before we did live, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely before we did live.
I remember talking a lot about Persona 5. That's what I remember.
We did do a spoiler cast with him.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Have you ever listened to our spoiler casts?
It's pretty, yeah, that one.
I don't want to.
We listened to him, it's like, that is not my opinion anymore. What the heck was I thinking there? That's great.
Yeah,
They're
it's always really weird when somebody comes at you and they're like, hey, you said this thing, and I'm going to use that as the basis of this argument. It's like, wait, the last time you heard that, I completely disagree. We need to sit down. We need to renegotiate our feelings on video games.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What's the beating of life?
Because I got a random new comment on our Trails of the Sky 1 and 2 spoiler cast, and they list all these things. I'm like, I do not remember saying that, and I do not believe that anymore. He's like, prepare for a bunch of spoilers.
Here's my dissertation on why you're wrong.
Pretty.
Was it?
No, he was like, or whatever they were. They were like, this. I really like this part. I really like this part. Pretty much, I agree with everything you said, except for that one thing Nixon said. And I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
the-
nobody agrees with you, Nick, so this makes
No,
sense.
it was the sophisticated fight thing.
Oh, yeah. That song grew on me.
I don't like that song.
So, Ben, you guys at Easy Allies had a really successful fundraiser recently. Can you tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you guys?
Yeah, I can, but I'm not sure if I can make sense of it. Was as soon as it was over, so we had this fundraising drive for new equipment for E3 because we want to look our best and present ourselves the best. And so we're like, hey, we need some extra money to accomplish that goals. Everything that we get from this fundraiser, we're going to spend on this equipment. And we set it up so it's like, okay, we're going to make 10,000 the absolute top. And I remember before it happening, I was feeling hesitation. I know Ian was feeling hesitation, Brandon, Huber, and they're like, what if we get like no money? And we crushed the $10,000, I think, like within an hour. It was extremely fast. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah. And so that really blew me away. It wasn't what we were expecting. And that's kind of what happened with Easy Allies, where we're like, you know, if we get like $500 and we just stream every once in a while, that'll be cool. Like, at least we can stay together and do something. And so Ian, God bless Ian, really took that and was like, okay, so we made this money that we said we were going to make. Here's all of how we're going to use the rest of it. And ended up coming up with valid things that we could put to use equipment-wise to look and sound better. So that was good.
Nice. Well, you know what was really funny in the aftermath? Jones put up this video, and he's got this, like, he's got his cup, and it says a quick word from Jones, and he kind of looks sad, and, like, half the comments were like, oh my god, I thought this was, like, the end of Easy Allies, or whatever.
That's what I thought, too.
I'm like, because I knew what was going on, because, like, the way the video starts, it's, like, really not clear what he's about to talk about. So has there been any discussion, like, oh, maybe we should have prefaced that a little bit better, or anything like that?
No, I think what happens a lot with Easy Allies is we get an idea, and it's like a fundamentally good idea, but it's clearer to us than it is maybe to everybody else. And what happened is Jones recorded that, I believe he recorded that after the 9-hour stream. So it's like you have somebody who's kind of been through a lot emotionally, is probably just tired, not exactly sure how to emote
right
all the time. And so I think that was just happening. I think he was just tired.
That
honestly
makes a lot of sense, yeah, because that was like a marathon-style stream, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I joined when you were playing Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
And I was watching, like, why does this look so good for a PS3 game? Oh, wait. They remade it.
Yep.
Yeah, so, well, congrats to you guys. We always watch your guys' E3 stream, so looking forward to the hype moments. Hopefully somebody goes a little bit crazy.
I guarantee it.
My favorite video, and I think it's maybe your second most viewed video on the channel, is the Resident Evil 7 reveal, where Ian just stands up. He's like, "What?" Like, oh, that's almost as good as the Shenmue one, but nothing beats the Shenmue.
Two notes and just no.
Yeah,
That was great. That was great.
That was game trailers, man.
yeah, legendary.
Yeah, anytime, like, Huber is just a person of pure goodness, and so anytime you can blow up that goodness to the point where you just get a couple of tears, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, and that man loves so heavily that there has to be something announced at E3 that will kind of bring him at least close to that point, I would assume.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I feel like we're due on PlayStation to get some new announcements, because like Detroit will be out, God of War is out, I mean Spider-Man's coming out in September, so it's like, do we get more Death Stranding? Do we get maybe a Last of Us gameplay reveal, or Final Fantasy VII Remake finally gameplay?
Haven't you heard? They're making E3, the new E3 conference, like the PSX conference that we had last year.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So were you on the team that did like the live watch along of PSX last year?
I was, yeah.
Oh my god. So we were at the thing last year. We were actually at the stadium or whatever that they had it at. Like, that was like one of like the worst cons I've ever been to in my life, if not the worst. Because like, not only was that, I mean, that show was, the opening thing was really bad, but did you go on the show floor at all, that conference?
For PSX?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had our meetup there, and then all of us went and played things at PSX as well.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. We went to that.
Thing.
But I felt like the conference floor was like barren. Like, all the big games were like things you could take pictures with, or things that you needed an appointment for that you couldn't get an appointment for because they were gone in like a second. So I don't want to retell this. We talk about this like every other podcast, I feel like, but I don't know. I just thought that was terrible. Without question, the worst PSX so far.
It's funny because I know I wasn't feeling the conference thing that they did, and I know other allies weren't either. And we got some negative feedback, and it was like, wow, you guys are so negative. You're just hating for no reason. And it's like, well, no. You know, we get hyped at things that excite us, and this was just boring. We couldn't feign enthusiasm here. We just didn't think it was a very well-presented thing. So
I couldn't believe they made us sit through the entire Death Stranding video again. Like, in its entirety, not cut down. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna watch this again?
Hey, they showed gameplay of Soul Calibur 6. I mean, come on.
I guess.
No, and then they...
I mean, when they did the play of Detroit, I as a person, I didn't know what Detroit was, right? So they were starting to do the live playthrough, and I was like starting to get into it because they're trying to save like a little girl or something. I was like, we gotta pick that one. It was like, that was like the coolest moment of all of E3, and then it was like, okay, everything, or E3, PSX, and then the rest really sucked.
Yeah, I think the way that they did that with the audience specifically for that type of game was actually pretty cool, despite it not really being anything new.
Right.
Right.
And they didn't listen to us. He did not listen to us.
He did, though. You might have said something different, but he listened to everything I said.
I remember we were all screaming, and then he did something completely different, and everyone's like, what the heck? Listen to us!
No, you know what the important thing is he saved the fish.
Yeah, he did.
But so you gotta save the fish.
You gotta save the
You
fish.
can't win without saving that fish.
Exactly.
I think the best part was when they showed BlazBlue cross tag battle, and it was
It's
the
the
same
same
thing they
thing!
showed at Evo. I'm like, I saw this 6 months ago.
Yeah, they like, we're announcing this. I'm like,
No.
it's the same trailer? Okay.
Like, we thought Kanji was gonna come out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And he's been announced by now, but like, we're like, okay, so they're gonna announce someone new, right? Right?
No.
Right? And then does the fade, and then Ruby comes up, and it's like, we know about this.
Oh, man,
and then
Ruby?
somebody was like, oh my god, they're adding Ruby, and we're like, wait, what?
And
What's
someone
wrong?
next to us was like, oh my god, Ruby! I'm like, this is new! This is not new! But yeah, people...
Speaking of things that are new,
What?
we can talk about some news.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have news this week.
Segue.
Yeah. So, there's actually quite a bit of news this week. Normally, the last couple weeks we have had like nothing to talk about. But so here's one that's kind of interesting, and I want to get, obviously your take on this, Ben. So Bandai Namco trademarked the subtitle to Xenosaga 3. Also, Sprach Zarathustra. That is the weirdest subtitle to any game I think I've ever heard. So do you think this is like a precursor to like a remaster trilogy or something like that? Or Nick was joking that it might be just a PS2 game on the PS4 download store or something, like just the third one.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of demand for Xenosaga Remaster, and I feel like that they've been kind of growing in voice. Also, I feel like PS2 on PS4 happens so rarely that I'd actually be more inclined to believe that it's a remaster. And so that's what I think. I think it's going to be a trilogy, and I think they're going to put it out on PS4.
I mean, I think that makes sense. We were like actually talking about that last week. That was, I think it was a question from the audience, like, what would you want to see? And I said that because Bandai Namco randomly put out that Dot Hack, remaster. And I say random because like there's not a new one coming out. There's not an anime. There's nothing to like build up to. And same thing with Xenosaga. I don't think they're going to make a fourth one. But I mean, that'd be cool. Have you played Xenosaga at all?
I've played episode 1 and remember the cutscenes being really long, but I never finished it, and I didn't play part 2 or part 3.
Okay. Now, that's by Monolith, right? The same guys that do Xenoblade?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of lineage there because there's cutscenes in Xenoblade 2. I'm in the middle of that right now, and they're very long.
Yeah, I really liked kind of the story setup for Xenosaga, and I like Cosmos a lot, and so it would be one that I'd actually be really excited to go back and play. It's sort of a different position for me than .hack GU, where I had never played .hack GU, and it was kind of hyped up to me. People spoke very highly of it, and then I played it, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. Like, I don't know if I want to commit the time that it would take to see this through. Whereas Xenosaga, what I've played, I really like, and I'd be happy to give it another shot. Getting through all 3 as we get further down the year might be a lot to ask, but still interested.
Yeah, because I've had this feeling lately that PS2 games, like, to me, that's kind of where I felt like the sweet spot have been for the things I like in JRPGs, like, Persona 4. I played the 12 remaster, and I loved that. So I would actually be really willing to give this a try. Have you played any of them, Nick?
Nope.
Nope.
But Connor has, and he said he enjoyed it.
That's right, yeah. Maddie, any interest in Xenosaga? I know you probably don't even know what that is, but...
Is it Monster Hunter?
What you talking about?
Xenosaga?
Is Xenosaga this new monster coming up for Monster Hunter that I've heard about?
Well, let me loop it in for you. So Xenoblade 2, you're familiar. There's a character in Xenoblade 2 that is a character from Xenosaga.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that's like so many strings removed.
Okay. I still can't believe. Okay, totally off tangent right here.
Oh, no.
They didn't make Shulk a blade.
I was like half expecting some reveal, some cloaked figure. I'm like, oh my god, Shulk! Like I was really hoping that would happen, but never happened. Not yet, at least. I haven't beat it yet. He's gonna spoil it.
Wow.
Wow.
Or am I?
Pyra is Shulk.
Yeah, Pyra is Shulk.
But yeah, I would hopefully pick that up. The fall is becoming quickly full of games, and its window to release is very small unless it comes out next year. So
it's coming out in fall.
Do you say fall is getting packed with what? I don't see Persona dancing.
Okay, not yet.
Okay, yeah, if that comes, I'll be
So
excited.
September we have Tomb Raider, probably Smash, Dragon Quest XI, Spider-Man. There was another one. That Dragon Cafe game that I liked.
Oh, yeah.
Little Dragon.
Oh, that's
Cafe.
coming out in the fall?
That's September as well.
Ooh.
Bloodworth is really hot on
Sorry. You forgot about the most important game coming out in the fall, and it's called World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth.
Oh, there you go. Is that September?
Okay.
No, it's actually August.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
So I went on a little rant on Slack the other night about my current feelings on Blizzard, and it seems to me, and I'm admittedly not paying very much attention, that there's not that much hype for Battle for Azeroth, but I could just be completely missing the situation.
So for a lot of this gap between expansions is a little bit different than normal because usually there's like a year gap of like doing the same raid over and over again, and people get starved for content. Legion, there's still stuff to do, so people are still focusing on Legion rather than, hey, look, there's that expansion in the distance. It's so far away, but I can't wait for it. Now it's just like, oh my god, Battle for Azeroth is coming, but we have things to do until it hits. So a lot of people aren't saying, can't wait. They're saying, okay, this is going to hit. We got to be ready for it.
I gotcha. So it's not at the forefront of the mind as much because you still have plenty of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very interesting.
I know I'm excited for it because.
Of course you're excited. Oh, dude. Okay.
Well, duh. But
I was not-
also I was there at BlizzCon
Yeah, you
and
were
they
there.
announced
You
it.
lost
and
your face. Ah.
There was a couple drops. There was WoW Classic. There was the expansion announcement which we knew was coming, but then there was also the cinematic reveal, which usually doesn't happen in the same day.
Okay.
Cinematic's
So
good.
I'm not a big WoW guy. I never got a level 60. I played the original, and that's
Scrub.
pretty much it. And watching that cinematic when it was released was amazing. Like, I got so many feels and everything like that because it just reminded me, for some reason, it reminded me of Warcraft 3, and that's where all my Warcraft came.
Was in the box, the Warcraft 3 box, where they're like looking at each other?
Yeah, there's
It's
a
classic
couple. There's a
Warcraft.
couple callbacks where there's an
Yeah.
orc and a human just looking at each other in the foreground of Sylvanas and Anduin fighting. I want to know what happens. There's so much lore we don't know about. Okay, sorry. I really care about lore
So
too.
how do we get in Warcraft?
Because
Fall
we're talking about
releases?
fall
Oh,
releases
fall
and we
releases.
forgot about the most important one. But you know,
Yeah. So Fall's getting. real
fall's getting
soon.
packed. Yeah.
You know, I made a choice.
You made a choice.
I made a conscious choice. Is,
Uh-huh.
I made a choice.
Tell us about this choice.
play JRPGs. Pretty much just focus on JRPGs, and then like MechWarrior.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much it.
Interesting.
So what if at E3 Bethesda's like,
Oh, I'm
and
fighting games,
Doom
of course.
2?
Of course, Doom. Doom's like what? I'm like the biggest Doom guy ever.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
It's just, you know, I see everyone talking about God of War and all the Spider-Man games. Like, it looks cool, but it's like I can't buy it, and I'm just not getting hyped anymore. It's really I love watching everyone's reactions. I love seeing the new. That's one of my favorite Easy Allies reactions when is God of War. It was the best. It's just like because the end of the trailer when everyone was like when the sun was looking out and it was that music, the orchestra was playing,
Yeah.
and then oh my god, I freaking
Kratos, Heber,
Yeah.
Atreus.
I had a brain fart.
I don't
I
know.
totally had a brain fart.
I don't know.
I do think that even if you're not that into God of War, even if it's off your radar, you're not hyped.
It's
I
worth
think
it.
if you can, you should give it a chance. It is, it's one of those. It's one of those that is going to be talked about a lot and for good reason, I think.
Within like to me, the conversation I've had around that game has been like, God of War can't possibly be as good as everybody's saying, because I've played all of them except Ascension, and I really like them. But I'm like, and I know this is a totally different game, but I'm just like, I've seen the combat, I've seen the puzzles. Is it really that good? But everybody says it's that good, so
It is, yeah. I think the number one thing for me, without ruining anything, is I've liked God of War a lot forever, ever since the first one, but I didn't care about God of War. I think a lot of people are saying, like, oh, this is obviously going to be a lot more emotional. It's taking cues from Naughty Dog, that sort of thing. Kind of, but to me, it takes this character and uses his past and uses what he's currently dealing with to make him so much more interesting, where I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. They present certain situations where, like, you are so excited to see what's going to happen to Kratos, a character that I just couldn't give two shits about before this game. And it's so good, it kind of tricks your brain into thinking you cared about him the whole time. Where, like, there are moments that will happen, and it's like, oh, yeah, I've always been on your side, where I totally haven't been. So, yeah.
In order to fully appreciate it, do you need to have played the first all the God of Wars, or can a newbie go in and I like it?
I think a newbie can totally go in and like it. I think you will get a little bit more out of it if you are a fan, but not so much so where it's like, wait, I don't understand what's happening at all. No, I don't think that happens. So.
Now is the time to go on Wikipedia and just read it.
You mean, well, yeah.
Go back to old Betty.
Yeah,
Go back to
just
old
catch
me.
up. There's got to be a video.
Oh,
with, like God of War in 5 minutes or whatever. There's probably a million of those.
Oh, if I got into it, I'm sure I would.
You fight giant monsters sometimes, so.
Yeah. I saw on Twitter, apparently it's very satisfying throwing his axe like Thor's hammer and hitting someone and then having it come back.
Yep.
I'm like, that's something I can
Okay.
get behind. That sounds fun.
Okay. Is the entire game one cut?
Yes.
Okay.
That's insane.
So that was like the main thing they were talking about when it was announced.
Yeah, the tech behind that, like the just how to set that all up must have been insane. So
Also,
Kudos.
about the fall releases, for forgetting the biggest one ever.
Is it MechWarrior?
No, Kingdom Hearts 3.
I don't know.
I
If it's
don't
coming
believe
out.
it.
I'm still not convinced it's coming out.
Not until it's in our hands.
Say 2018. It's coming out
It's getting delayed.
with the demo for Final Fantasy VII.
Also, Persona 5 was supposed to come out winter 2014, and we saw how that happened there. So don't trust dates on a screen.
I went into GameStop yesterday to pick up the Nintendo Labo Variety Pack, and we got on the topic of Kingdom Hearts because I was thinking about buying the 1.5 and 2.5 on PS4, and me and the clerk were talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I said, "Oh, excited for Kingdom Hearts 3," and then she said, "Yeah, if it comes out." And I feel like no matter who you have that conversation with about Kingdom Hearts, like no matter how excited they are, no matter how excited you are, there's always this like, "Yeah, I hope it lives up to the wait." Like there's just a little bit of doubt.
Well, but like
because I'm not mistaken.
Totally, because like, well, I mean, sadly, Square Enix has like kind of earned their reputation with everything that happened with 15 and kind of even with 13. I mean, 13 was long delayed as well.
And with the 7 remake, Ian said it perfectly. This is not coming out for 5 years.
Yeah,
we're on year 4.
Yeah.
Well, then you hear these things that they're saying, like, we're gonna make this. It's not just gonna be a remake. It's gonna be this brand new game. We're gonna exceed your expectations for Final Fantasy VII. And it's like, Square, you have not done well with lofty talk before. Like, I think people would be cool if it was just a remake. But yeah,
there's gonna be Cup of Noodles in it. There's gonna be
Cup of Noodle marketing.
Final Fantasy VII, A Realm Reborn 2.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Realm Reborn.
A Realm Reborn is 14.
Yeah. What's a
Kingsglaive?
No, Empire. A new Empire.
Oh my god. I'm still getting ads for that.
Yeah, me
that
too.
blows me away.
Guys, you're talking about the phone listens. It's gonna give you the ad the next time you're on a YouTube video. I
is
swear.
in one of those commercials.
I saw that. The completionist. I saw that. That's pretty funny.
I was like, oh no, he's fallen.
Oh, just that video. He finally fell. Final hallway.
No, he did.
His soul got taken.
That's an old JonTron. That's a deep cut JonTron video that doesn't exist anymore.
But his soul got taken.
Before we know it, I mean, we're gonna see Huber in a Shenmue 3 commercial. I think before it's all said and done, they're gonna pay him.
I have this suspicion that when we get to the final like gameplay reveal of Shenmue 3, like last trailer, it's just going to be Huber. Like he's just going to be real.
He's just like, hi guys.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. They should put him in as an NPC. I mean, come on. They should just do it.
I think that would really bum Huber out, though, because then that would be something where it's like, okay, we can't review this, Huber. You're in the fucking game. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of fall releases, I mean, there's a ton of JRPGs that are coming out between now and the end of the year. Kingdom Hearts aside, we got Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest XI, Valkyrie Chronicles 4, and there's like probably more that I'm forgetting. But is there like any one in particular that you're like really excited for?
I mean, you just listed the Killer's Row, I think.
Yeah.
Like, were you to take any one of those and put them with another list, I would probably pick that one. But out of those, I think Dragon Quest, just because I've played a tiny bit of the Japanese version, and it was wonderful. And playing it with voices and playing it on console again, I don't know. I think Dragon Quest XI would be the number one for me.
So my big concern, I tried playing the 3DS version of 8, and even with the sped up battles, it felt really grindy. Is 11 better with that, or is it still pretty grindy? Like, can you just go through the game?
I don't think I've played enough of it to say whether or not it's grindy. But the talk that I've actually heard, I saw somebody on Reset Era saying that one of the things they were disappointed about with 11 was that it was a little bit too easy. So if that's the case, I don't necessarily think it will be too grindy. But we'll have to see, I guess.
That's good.
Seems like a trend. Easy JRPGs, Ni no Kuni, Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni was ridiculously easy.
Why do you think I haven't played any of them?
Because you have Monster Hunter. That's the answer for everything.
Because Monster Hunter's... Yeah.
I'm telling you, Maddie, play Bloodborne or Dark Souls. I think you'd actually like it.
You want me to lose myself to another game?
I mean, you can finish those games.
That's true.
Code Vein.
Oh, yeah, Code Vein.
Dude, Code Vein. Actually, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Anime Dark Souls.
That's right.
I'm ready.
I'm also really looking forward to Code Vein. I don't think it will be great, and I'm very okay with that. I just like that style of game, and that's enough for me to buy in.
Yeah, the guest we had on last week, her name is Vanessa. She's like like a paid cosplayer
For
from
Bandai.
Bandai Namco. So she's been, you might have even seen her at like E3 or something. But yeah, she's like, I guess they might have given her an early build. She's played the game somehow, but
She likes it.
yeah, she's.
Of course she likes it.
She got paid to say she likes it. Okay.
She's got paid to say she likes it.
But no, it does look cool. I thought that game would have been out by now, but
Been working on it for a while.
yeah, it's you know, that's like the God Eaters team's next big game. So
Still waiting for the new Tales game.
So
the
am
new
I.
Tales game. Yeah. Well, you know what's really funny is we say anime Dark Souls. So Vanessa last week, she told us, she's like, okay guys, if whenever you say, don't call it anime Dark Souls. Like the marketing team is very aware that that's what people are calling it, and then I think they just
I
gave
think
up.
they just gave up.
They're
She
like,
said too many people
whatever.
are calling it anime Dark Souls, so now it's just anime Dark Souls.
I mean, I think at a certain point, if you're a publisher, like you have to see the writing on the wall. Like there is nothing that you could do to have people not call it anime Dark Souls. So just roll with it. Like just embrace it.
Right.
That's what it is, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So.
Like, had they not also been the publisher of Dark Souls, maybe they could have gotten away with that. But at this point, it's like, all right, well, whatever.
Right. The company that actually sells us Dark Souls can't try to do the smoke and mirrors thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. So, speaking of Dark Souls, there has been a little trend, and so we're going to read a couple pieces of news, and I want to get everybody's take on this. So, Dark Souls was supposed to remastered, was supposed to come out next month for all systems, got delayed into the summer for Japan, and the Switch version for Valkyria Chronicles 4 in Japan got delayed to fall, which I think might actually line up with the US release. I don't know. So, I don't know. What do you guys? Why do you think that all these Switch games are getting delayed? Is it because the engines aren't getting caught up? It's a new system. There's a lot of talk of these new 64 gig Switch carts and stuff like that.
It's because the Switch overheats and starts steaming when you play really powerful games.
You put it up to your face, you can just feel the hot air blowing on you.
That's what it was like when I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles.
That's interesting.
Switch can't handle it.
Can't handle it.
Well, I don't know about now. Maybe it got optimized because I've been playing on docked mode recently on New Game Plus, and it looks way better. And like I remember the beginning cutscenes, all that story moments that happened, like the battle between Pyra and all them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really choppy at the beginning, but now it's like smooth as butter. I'm like, that's nice. I like this. And that all what they're saying in that cutscene, in that intro, I get now because I beat the game. I'm like, oh, they just gave it away right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Like everything makes sense now when all that cryptic talk. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks for giving it away, game.
It's so funny how some games do that. So, like, I remember when at the beginning of Persona 5, it does the flashbacks to the interrogation thing. If you're paying attention, it tells you exactly when it's going to get caught up. Because, like, it says the month or something. It's like, so 4 months ago this happened, and I'm like, oh my god, it just tells you. But I remember while we were playing the game, we're like, I wonder when it's gonna happen.
When is this gonna happen? There's so many times you're like, okay, it's after this arc, it's after this palace. No, it's after this palace. No, it has to be after this palace. And you finally get there, and you're like, oh.
And then here's an hour of exposition to explain.
You know what? I dug that hour of exposition. Plus, I needed that hour to calm down.
Ben remembers.
Oh, Ben did see that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Or hear it. Yeah.
The reaction to the moment. Let's refer to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Ben? Why do you think the Switch games keep getting delayed? Are they trying to be too ambitious by porting games that don't belong on Switch, or are they still trying to figure out the architecture, or what do you think?
I honestly think it's getting it right. You hear everybody say, hey, if you're going to put it on Switch, put it on Switch. We want everything on Switch. We love Switch, which I understand. I enjoy my Switch too. But just the murmurings the general sense that I've gotten from people is that it's not as easy as it seems. Isn't it with Wolfenstein 2? They just announced that like you have to download a bunch, even if you buy the physical version. And like Xenoblade, right? That, as much as I enjoy that game, like not the most technically proficient game ever by any means. And so I think it is just a matter of trying to get it right and trying to utilize the hardware in the best way that they possibly can.
Yeah, I'm hoping, it's like, no, there's never been a system that has done this, you can play it docked and handheld, so it's kind of complicated. So I'm wondering if even, give it a year and maybe they'll figure it out. Because I remember, like, PS3, like, some of the early PS3 games were kind of questionable, but then like
I mean, all PS3 games? Every PS3 game port.
Oh,
was
we're not gonna go
worse
back
than
into this, are we?
outside of what Naughty Dog. I mean, Naughty Dog were like masters of like how they got The Last of Us to work on PS3 is crazy, but yeah, I think yeah.
You also see this without fail, where you think about the Wii U and how little third-party support there was for that, and I can imagine for a lot of companies, right, it takes a lot for them to commit to a platform or to release a game on a platform, and they kind of have to adapt with the trends as well. And so I think before the Switch came out, before it was a huge success, you probably had a lot of people on the fence, not sure, and then they saw it grow, and it's like now they're really trying to bring over as much as they can and wrestle with those technological problems when they weren't, like, before the Switch was out, because they weren't sure it was going to be worth the investment. So that's what I think.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah, because it's like doing a new platform is risky, especially with the history Nintendo had. It's like the Wii didn't work out great for third party. Wii U was pretty horrible, and then it's like, well, do we even bother putting stuff on Switch? But then, yeah, there were these markers like the Street Fighter thing that like exploded and had no right to. The 2 remake or whatever. Like
just because people were hungry for games, and
right.
Street Fighter was something they recognized. Yeah.
I will say for the Wii, there is a Dragon Ball game on the Wii. And it was pretty cool because, like, you had the Wii mote and, like, the nunchuck. And to, like, power up, you actually had to go like this.
Oh,
like,
that's
Kamehamehas, you had to, like, press buttons and do the motions for various things. Like, Special Beam Cannon, you had to do this and point at the screen.
Yeah, Tenkaichi Budokai 3.
It was actually pretty cool.
Was it burst limit that you did that?
No, it was
Budokai.
Tenkaichi Budokai 3 for the
Okay.
Wii.
Okay.
Do we still have that?
You have every Dragon Ball game, of course.
I don't know if we have the Wii version anymore.
Oh, the Wii version,
Where'd
yeah.
it go?
I don't know. You sold
it.
sold a lot of my Wii games.
That is a collector's item. My PS2 unopened ones disappeared somehow.
He sold it.
You sold it.
I did not sell that.
I sold it.
Your dad sold
But
it.
it was
I'm
cool.
surprised you have these problems because it looks like in the back, like, you know, you got a nice shelf, you got plenty of space,
Right?
put all the games. I'm surprised. It looks good, by the way. It's a good setup. I'm envious.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of it's like Caesar's Palace. No, I'm just joking.
There's
100
Frogger right
armored
here.
cores.
We have Frogger
We got
1,
Frogger.
2, Driver, Croc. There's a Caesar's Palace. Busta Groove.
Ooh,
The
busted.
Frogger PS1 game, I spent a lot of time playing that as a kid.
Yeah, me too. And apparently they made a sequel, and I did not know that.
I knew that, but never played it.
Some of these games I have no idea how I even have.
Well,
Sounds about
when
right.
people would just drop stuff off at GameStop, like, here, I don't want this. Okay.
Those are the perks at GameStop. Sometimes you'd be like, oh, I don't want these. I'm like, are you sure? You can sell it for like hundreds of dollars on eBay. I don't care. Just keep it. I'm like, okay, it's mine now.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll just touch on this last bit of news, and then we'll move on. So they announced 2 more characters for Octopath Traveler. What are their names? Tressa, and I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Hanit or something like that. What? It's like H''AANIT. Hanit.
It's because they need
Honey?
they're trying to fill
Says
out.
so in the English trailer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like Maddie was gonna say, they're spelling Octopath with all the character names. If anybody's hasn't caught on to that yet. So there's 2 left. It's a C and an O, and everywhere we've been trying to guess the names. But Clive, Ophelia. I feel like Ophelia is a pretty strong lock. Yeah, because these have been all like kind of made up names. Or
Okay, they announced like this new system where like the rogue or the good, like rogue or something. What's it?
oh yeah, that you can basically like Paragon or or whatever, like the good or bad version. But I'm really curious to see how all these systems play out, because everybody there's like a million ways to approach situations. It seems like it's like, okay, I can steal from you, I can seduce you, I can fight you, I can convince you. It's like, I wonder how that all play. I wonder if it plays into something bigger. I don't know.
I still like the dancer's ability. Just, hey, come with me, be my party member. To like anyone.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Where is your hype level for Octopath Traveler, Ben?
My hype level has been high ever since we played the demo, just because I think it made a strong case for it. I found the stories interesting. I loved the look. I liked the combat. I loved the giant sprites. And it's still there. I think the more that they reveal these characters, though, and they talk about their individual abilities, the one thing that I'm slightly worried about is they have these ideas for all these individual characters. I hope it doesn't get too tedious. Yeah, like when you do one character and you really get into it and you kind of use their skill a bunch and you interact with people in that unique way with that character, that's awesome. But then you do that 7 more times and maybe it's not as awesome, even though it's a different ability. So that's one thing that I'm worried about. But I don't know. I have no reason to doubt based on what I've seen and what I've played. So strong hype.
I'm trying to. How is the story gonna like evolve? Is it gonna be like you play each player's story first, and then it goes into one?
Then they form their final party. They each finish their quest line, and everything they collect on each character is what you have for the final dungeon battle thing.
And then they're like, "We'll defeat the world-ending boss
with the power of friendship." Every JRPG has to have that line.
Of course.
Somehow it needs that line.
Yeah.
Xenoblade, it just straight up says it.
Yep.
They don't only beat around the bush, yeah. What you were saying, Ben, about the repetition thing, and I think that's a valid concern because anybody that played Bravely Default knows how that game ended, and it's like, I really, really hope they learn their lesson from that, because that was like a 9 out of 10 JRPG for me, and then when that ending came up, I'm like, you gotta be kidding, like...
Right.
It was just so obviously that they're like, well, the game's not long enough. Let's just pad it in the most lazy way possible. Mm-hmm. And I was a game developer for 4 years, so I don't throw that term around too often. But when you're doing just literally fight the same bosses over and over and over and over and over again, like, yeah, that's lazy. And like they were trying to give story justification, but I felt like it wasn't good enough.
Wasn't it like you defeat all the bosses and somehow they all get resurrected and you have to fight them again?
No, I think you go back in time or something.
Yeah, it was bullshit. Yeah.
There you go.
It really was.
Let's just cut to the chase. It was bullshit.
And it's disappointing because kind of what you were saying, like I was way into that game until that point, and I actually really liked the ending of it too. I thought the final boss was like pretty challenging and fun, and I liked the ending. But it was just this really rotten part that took way too long, like very close to the end. Yeah, I still need to go and play through Bravely Second.
Yeah,
which I haven't done.
Me too, because there's like a little after credits thing that like got me super hyped. I'm like, oh my gosh! Still sitting on the shelf. Got to play it at some point.
You actually own it?
I do, yeah. I got it on some sale. It was cheap, and so I'm like, I'll play it at some point.
Is that when you were doing your 3DS collection?
Yeah, I still would like to do that someday, but not right now.
So do you want to do topics before we do questions?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Well, Maddie, any thoughts? Are you going to get Octopath Traveler?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
It's not coming out till July. There'll be plenty of time to max out every weapon and beat every monster.
That's not what that's not what I'm scared of. I'm scared more of this.
Money.
And figures have higher priority than video games. Cause like I could get Octopath Traveler whenever you can. You might sell out of this figure.
That's
all right.
True.
So it's
that's a valid point.
Okay.
So it's money. Also, I'm also scared of what Ben said. They're like the one character is really cool, but I'm scared with 7 other characters. It's just gonna get too convoluted, and I'm like, okay, I made this plan, but if I do this, it's just gonna be too much that I'm nervous about.
I will say though that I think coming out in July is the perfect time for that game. I think people are going to be... It's weird because I think people are going to be very excited after E3, but not have a lot of place to put that energy. And Octopath Traveler, which has gotten a lot of good buzz, coming pretty close after that, and well before the September rush of stuff, I can't imagine like a better place for that.
That's a good point.
And I think it's because of that, it's going to get a lot more coverage than it normally would, and that will really help Octopath Traveler as well.
I think so, and it's an exclusive, so there's like Switch games just kill it anyway. So when you have like a good big exclusive, like the next RPG from Square Enix, like I'm sure they're gonna probably put some dollars behind it.
And the art's just really pretty.
It is.
A lot of people are just gonna fall for the art too because it just looks good.
The 3D, 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that in motion, that looks like way better than it ever does on any trailer. Like you can watch a trailer and be like, "Oh, that's cool," but it looks like so much better like in motion while you're playing it because like it's like the parallax scrolling or something in a way like you move through the environment is really cool too. So, yeah.
It has random battles, Taylor.
It does, but they're good random battles. They're Persona 5 level random battles. They're quick, they're fun, there's some strategy to it, you know?
Maddie, I figured out a problem, how to fix your problem with figures. It's something called room, and you do not have any. Damn it.
That's never going to stop me.
It's going to be like a bunch of Persona figures on your bed.
I mean, this is already, like, next to me as I sleep. I deliberately took out my Persona shrine, because no one's really seen it, but my cosplay gloves are right here.
Nice.
And then Morgana, I got my in-package
Wait, you bought...
CD.
Wait, hold on. Did you buy 2 CDs?
No.
Oh, okay. I
No,
thought you
one-
bought one to keep in the wrapping and then one to use.
No, I'm not that crazy.
No, the one that she used
I took
is
Nick's.
mine.
Oh, okay, got it.
I got mine still in the wrapper.
There are people that do that, just so you
I,
know.
I do have 2 art books. I have the Japanese one, which is right here, because the English one released like 3 months later. But I have that one. That's also on my pillow. And
Rennerson says shelves and more shelves. No, the thing is, there's no room at all in her room.
I-
It's covered in posters, and her computer desk is just overflowing with figures.
Yeah.
I could...
And her closet doesn't have any room either.
No. So, see, this is what you do. Is like, I don't need clothes. So you take out the dresser and you put in a shelf, and then you put your figures there.
No. Here's what you do. This is what my friend did in college. He basically had a bed that he nailed to the ceiling, and it was like a lofted bed. And then on the ground, you just have shelves. So just put your bed on the ceiling.
Dude, that sounds like a genius.
Or you do what I do and have a futon, Japanese futon.
No, or I do what Kayla's doing and have the loft bed, so my desk is underneath the bed, and then we go there. Yeah, that's
a really efficient use of space.
I think I might. That'd be pretty cool.
All for figures, guys.
See, I was gonna pick your brain because I get really excited about figures, but most of the time I regret it because A, I don't have enough room, and B, I forget about them. Like I just put them somewhere and then I forget about them, and so sometimes they don't always feel worth it to me. But then I look at that Futaba figure and I'm like, that seems pretty sick. Seems like a really well made, cool figure of a character I really like.
It's pretty nice. She's in Morgana mode right now. I could have her in her jacket, but Morgana mode is a little better. What are you doing? There's the other one that's her in Necronomicon, glowing.
Yeah.
And that's not quite out yet. But
Oh, you pre-ordered that one too.
No, not yet. I'm seeing if it could go on Ami before I try and pre-order it from Crunchyroll, because that was 160. Arson's like 200.
That's like 3 full price games.
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
I'm like the opposite of Maddie, because Maddie's like, well, I'd rather figure over game, but it's like figures just sit there, and games you experience them, you have memories, you can have discussions.
Do you know how many times someone has walked into my room and been all like, "That's amazing," and I'm like, "Yes," because I'm the biggest fangirl, Persona 5. I am working very hard for this right. Very, very hard.
Okay.
It's so bad that we're repainting our rooms, and she's gonna paint it black and red.
I was very tempted to say that.
That would have been amazing if you just walk in like, wow, this is a really red room.
Black and red.
Just make it a velvet room.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I say game over figure as well, but there's so many games that I've purchased that I haven't played that I may get to someday, but
See, that's true. See, that's the thing, is like the new games coming out, it's just like, I could get those later. I still have to finish Tokyo Xanadu.
Yes, you do.
I still have a couple of replays of a few games I need to do. I need to do my solo Nightmare Hummel run from Ys 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have some things I need to do. So in the meantime, collect everything from P5. Like, I don't understand why you guys can't understand this.
Well, here's the one thing you absolutely need,
Is
and you refuse to buy.
Is it the Makoto figure?
It is. It's
I hate
the
you.
Makoto ass
No,
motorcycle. Yeah,
it's
you
so
gotta buy it.
Stupid.
It's amazing.
Also, you need another Illidan statue.
No, I could only spend.
full person Illidan statue.
I took a picture next to a full person Illidan statue at BlizzCon.
Nice.
So that's enough for you.
Yeah, I mean,
It's close.
so that one is 350. Do you know how much?
I still remember when she bought that. I'm like, are you serious? The box was okay.
I still have the box.
Yeah, do you remember how big the Titanfall 1 collector's edition box was?
Yes.
Like, you
Yeah.
couldn't even fit it in a car. It
Yeah.
was huge.
That's how big that Paladin box was.
It has
Are
some
you
great art
serious?
on it.
That's one figure.
Just most of it was foam, probably.
It was. A lot of it was foam to protect the thing.
Yeah.
And right now my Illidan sits gloriously on my desk, and it has 11 charms hanging off of it. He's a glorified charm holder.
Pretty much.
It's great.
I don't know what to do. I don't know.
And Wandy, I'm not.
Live your best life.
Yeah.
Yep.
You do what you do, Maddie. I'm not making fun of her. Wandy in the chat told me, leave Maddie alone.
Yeah, I just need to create more space. I need to.
So you know how I could create, like, I have a time warp ability that I could play 24 hours.
Yeah,
More than 24
I
hours
need
in a
to
day.
be able to create a rope trick so I could go to a different dimensional plane and be able to store things there.
Okay, so what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Let's go to an hour in. We're going to a topic, one of our topics of the day.
Going from questions to questions.
No, we're going to topics to questions time. We would learn from Sean.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so topic number 1. This is actually kind of close to my heart right now.
Okay.
Have you played a JRPG that came out recently, like in the past 2 years, that you wished it garnered more attention and acclaim, like more people played it? And
Well, you kick it off. This is your topic.
yes, oh, gosh, I have a big one.
Okay.
Mine is Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. It's just.
Okay.
Have you played that, Ben?
Yeah, I played a little bit of. I didn't play EX. I just played regular Tokyo Xanadu, and it was one of those things that I started and was like, "This is really cool. I can't wait to cover this more." And then it came out at a bad time where I got distracted / had to get pulled to other things, but it seemed really cool.
Yeah. So it came out when we were at PSX. It didn't give
The
it like,
best part of PSX was me
Played
in
it.
my Joker costume saying, "Oh my god, it's Tokyo Xanadu. That's waiting in my house right now. Let's try it out." And then playing one battle, and I'm like, "This game is made for me." Too bad Monster Hunter came out. Seriously.
Yeah, Monster Hunter came out and destroyed
Too bad a
everyone.
way more awesome game came out.
I don't know.
What a
Tokyo
shame.
Xanadu is really good.
So I didn't give it 2 thoughts, and then I was like, "Oh, I need to play this game." And oh no,
You played Dragon Ball Fighters.
was it Dragon Ball Fighters first?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters came out, and you know how addicted I got to that. That was my Monster Hunter. I still am addicted to that game, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop playing. I gotta play Tokyo Xanadu, and that game blew me away.
How did it blow you away?
At first it's like, oh, this is a simple. It's very, very simple. It's a. If you played Ys and you
Anime.
played,
It's
yeah,
tropey.
very
Persona
it's-
meets
it's
Ys.
neat.
yeah, it's very anime tropey, and I love it for that.
It's great.
And the more I played it, the more I just fell in love with the characters. And every chapter was as hard hitting. There's 3 endings, so there's 3 endings in this game.
Well,
Gotta replay it 3
spoilers.
times?
Oh no, because of the EX.
I know. I said, well, spoilers. So
Oh.
there's the ending, then there's the,
Okay.
the ending. Like,
There's
there's
the
the ending,
ending,
the
and then-
ending,
okay, there's the
and then the epilogue.
Yeah. No.
So this is
no,
like-
no. There's the ending, 2 ending, and then the epilogue,
That's 3.
and then well, that's the 2 endings, the epilogue,
Well, then
and
that's
then
4.
and then the after story.
Jeez. This is like Return of the King levels of endings. It's
It-
like when you think it's over, it's not over,
Yeah.
and
Pretty
then
much.
it's over.
Well, the true ending is
Yeah.
pretty much like the main story ended, but then like the after story is more.
Is it an F arc?
It's kind of it's an F arc.
Where's? Oh, that's in my room. Like,
Where's Asbel?
where's my Grace's poster that I saved from you?
Yeah,
You
were gonna throw it in the
monster.
trash.
I
No,
saw
it's
it.
up there. It's you're hanging
Yeah,
out.
because I saved it from the trash.
Yeah. It was GameStop. I had GameStop ads on it. It pissed me off. Yeah. So, it's really good. It's Ys. It's very So if you like Trails in the Sky, or Trails of Cold Steel, then you'll like the story, like how it's written.
It's Trails of Cold. All the aesthetics are Trails of Cold
Yeah.
Steel.
So if you play Trails of Cold Steel and then you just load up this game, like, hey, the menus look exactly the same,
Trails of
and
Cold
the
Steel,
chat
yeah.
boxes and everything.
It's
that
great.
was something that both the character design and the UI was very reminiscent of Cold Steel for me.
Yep, and that's why I loved it, because I love Cold Steel. And
I gotta finish Cold Steel.
You do. Wait, Ben, didn't we give you
we
homework
have
of finishing the Sky
I
series?
feel like every time I'm on, like that's ultimately what happens. Is like, okay, I've got to finish Show in the Sky. I gotta finish Cold Steel.
Wait.
But
Did you watch Persona 4 animation yet?
no, I haven't.
Ben!
I've watched one episode of Persona 5 animation.
I mean, okay, that's getting somewhere, but
Yeah.
Persona. Okay.
I think the list was play Tales of Destiny PS1.
Trails in the Sky.
Persona 4
Oh right, the list was unreasonable. That's
Yeah, it was unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish Sky 2 and 3. Finish Cold Steel. All these games.
It's only like 300 hours of
It's
content.
not like you're busy at all.
That's only like
It's not like
3
you
months of
review
Monster
games
Hunter.
for a living or something, you know?
It was a funny list.
Yeah.
It was
That's
after
great.
you left, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because you had to go somewhere.
Oh,
and
okay.
we're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
the
that's right.
podcast.
But yeah.
I think part of the problem is with Easy Allies. There's a need, like an absolute need to cover contemporary things, but then there's also like, okay, well, we also want to cover stuff that we're interested in as well. The problem that I run into is a lot of the things that I'm interested are 30, 50, 70-hour things, and so if you choose to go that direction, there's only so many of those you can fit in a given year.
Yeah.
But
So this is actually a conversation that me and Nick have had, and I'm curious if the Easy Allies, if you guys have thought about this. Has there ever been a discussion of just like, let's just not do reviews anymore and let's just make all original content? Has that ever been a discussion? Because like, as someone that used to do video game reviews on my own YouTube channel, those take a long time because not only do you have to play the game, you gotta write the review, you gotta edit the video. It just takes so much time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think that idea has been maybe like talked about, but never in a serious way, just kind of very casual discussion. And I think the problem for us is a lot of people have done away with game reviews to great effect. And I think game reviews have less importance than they used to. But for us, game reviews are our bread and butter. I think more so than anything else we do, people find us through our game reviews. And I think that's one of the things that we nail the most, where a lot of people disagree with our opinions sometimes, but I think in general they like how it's presented. They like the structure of it. And so it doesn't make sense for us to just get rid of it. Like there's enough people come to it enough that like if we were going to get rid of it, we'd have to replace it with something that was equally strong. And I don't think we have that thing.
That's fair. Yeah, because whenever I see your guys' review, like God of War, I want to say that's probably sitting somewhere close to 300k views right now.
Right.
Like, depending on the game, like even the Ni no Kuni, before God of War, that like went by Zelda, your Zelda review
Right.
in views, and I'm like, wow. So like, because you're totally right. Like, IGN puts like 3-minute reviews out. They're like super short. Same with GameSpot. The only other guy that I think is even on the same level as ACG.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how that guy does it. That guy is a beast.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
He's like on top of everything
Yeah, it's
with like really long reviews. He does great. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. No, I was just curious. Yeah, because I always like watching, even if I bought the game or I had no intention to buy the game. I like the style there. It's like a little piece of art. I don't know. I always think they're really well edited, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Depending on who the editor is, like they get creative. Like I remember there was I think it was the Wolfenstein review where there was like a moment where like somebody was getting punched and like right at the punchline it cuts to the score as opposed to the lines moving or whatever. So
Ian is really good at doing that. He's the one I think is the most inclined to do something like that. And what's great about him is he'll find those moments, but he'll find them very quick. Like what's most remarkable about Ian is how good of a job he can do in such a short amount of time as far as editing goes. So yeah, big respect to him. Yeah, we have like different layers of EZA fans, I think. We've got the people that watch everything. We've got people that watch some of the things, like they might watch like Frame Trap in the podcast and some streams, like a mix of things, but not everything. And then you've got the people that I think just watch the podcast and maybe Frame Trap and reviews. And then you have like this very outer layer of people who only watch reviews. And I don't think that's an insignificant amount of people.
No,
So.
it's not. And I feel like the only, like you said, as people start doing reviews less and less, I think that only becomes more important because there's like I look for quality reviews for smaller games like the JRPGs that we play, and like nobody does them. Like like the latest Atelier game. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's about, and like nobody had a review for it. I'm like, okay,
that's where you gotta do it.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta step up.
Step up, Taylor. Come on.
But anyway,
so Tokyo Xanadu.
Tokyo Xanadu. It's a game.
It's a game. It's an action RPG. It has Persona-like elements to it. It's very anime, so if you like anime, it's Falcom.
Japanese only voices, right?
Japanese only voices.
It's really.
What?
It was funny when they went to English class, and
I love that.
They're like, Hiragi, you have the best English. You have the best English voice because you lived in the U.S. for a little bit. Why don't you say some English words? And it's so bad.
Is it like English, like pretty bad English?
No, she has a very strong accent. She's still talking. She does the English fine. She just has a very strong Japanese accent.
Okay.
Very,
That's
very.
awesome.
It's like,
very
and you're from
strong.
America? I don't think you are.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
It's funny. It's good. Good game.
It's a good game. It's stuck with me for a long time. I've been listening to the soundtrack. We were listening to it when we were setting it up.
Mm-hmm.
After like 100 hours at the third ending, and you still want more, that's a mark of a good game, I think, because
so Persona 5.
You hear the song, yeah. If you hear you hear the song, like, oh no, this song is the ending. I can totally tell from the song. I'm like, I want more.
The sad piano and the acoustic guitar, and then somebody just starts singing.
That's really funny because it is a piano.
That is like the generic like end of the game type of song for sure.
Kathleen,
like
100 Hours How? The epilogue is super long.
No, so here's
also
how
Nick talks
does it.
to every NPC
Maddie.
twice.
Yeah, that's true.
So you talk to every NPC, you do a story quest, then you talk to all of them again, and then you sleep at the end, and then you talk to all of them again.
That's what you're supposed to do. It has a section where, like in Cold Steel, you could talk to your friend, you talk to the classmates, and it fills up this notebook, and you get like information. Same thing in frickin' Tokyo Xanadu. Just you talk to them, and then like you do like a story moment, and then you can talk to them again. It's like, oh, I learned something new.
How did you get to the intermission in 22 hours? I got to the intermission at 40.
Kathleen is just
because Kathleen's already played it on the feed.
Because Kathleen just knows what's up. She's just too pro for me.
Yeah. I could probably beat it really fast now.
Okay, well that's great. Anyway.
But yeah, look at you.
I love the snipes that you two take at each other. It's nice.
Brother and sister.
Sibling rivalry at its best,
or
worse.
This is how you talk.
Okay, the funniest thing. Okay, she started Tokyo Xanadu before me, and she's like, "I gotta beat this game before you. It is my goal."
I had that thought for
she has
for
to do
2
it.
days.
She got really far, and then I started playing, and then I just flew right past her.
You started playing after I started playing Monster Hunter,
and then Monster Hunter happened.
Hunter after, and so I was like, "Come on!" I told her like, "I got Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I stopped."
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
But yeah.
When each hunt
it was really
can
fun.
take an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, the hunts are way longer than a match.
Not if you do like 3 matches in a row.
I'm saying one match. One match, one hunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what about you guys?
I don't know.
Oh, Maddie's gonna be hard because
I don't know if mine came out within the last
Persona. I really hope. I wish people
more people
Persona
liked 3-5.
It didn't get like nominated for very many Game of the Year awards or anything.
It didn't win JRPG of the Year or RPG of the Year, and then completely get blown by in the Game Awards, which pissed me off. Anyway,
why does she keep calling me Neko Nick? I did that once. I had Cat Girls on my stream once.
Oh my god. I don't think it did, so I can't say that one. I don't think any of these did.
Ys 8 maybe.
Yep.
Like you gotta keep in mind, like I feel like Ys 8 went really under the radar.
Did it go really under the radar?
That was gonna be one that I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
Let's just say Falcom Games.
Falcom Games.
Well, also,
I mean, a lot of them aren't. It's growing, but yeah, a lot of them are under the radar where people are like, I don't know about this Trail series. It's like, no, play the Trail series, and once they get a taste, they're in the hole. You push them in the hole and bury them. It's over.
But don't say it too much, or they won't play it.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
I mean,
terrible person.
The JRPG.
Ben could say the same thing.
What?
He's only talked to us 5 times, and every time we bother him about trains.
It's a good thing to bother somebody about them. I don't mind.
He wants to play it, but
it is a rather good game.
No, I'm saying your JRPG bracket kind of pulls the point that
all the trails got eliminated
every
in the
game
first
got
round.
destroyed right at the beginning. It's like, oh, it's still that.
So I won't go too much into this, but I think you follow me on Twitter, Ben. Did you see that bracket I put out a few weeks ago at all?
I think I saw it. I didn't really look into it too heavily, but I saw that you posted a bracket. Yeah.
Okay. So the final ended up being Persona 4 versus Persona 5, but
okay.
Best game win.
And Persona 5 won, but I think the final 4 were Final Fantasy X, Persona 5, Final Fantasy 6, and Persona 4 Golden. Yeah.
How did Final Fantasy X get that far?
I don't know. Final Fantasy X was slaying everybody. It was crazy.
I like Final Fantasy X. I do. I think there's a lot of valid criticism to throw at it, but sometimes when I see that game get a lot of hate, I don't totally understand it because I do think it's a very good game.
I will say it's maybe the best iteration of the Final Fantasy turn-based combat because it gives you all the options. You know what the order is going to be, and you can swap in party members without losing a turn. So
that's an idea that it's such a simple idea that I want to see more of. The way that you swap in party members in Final Fantasy X, it drives me insane that you can't do that in more turn-based games. It just drives me insane.
How do you do it in 10?
You literally, it's like, let's say it's Titus's turn. Like one of the menu options is just swap a character in. But normally in other games, that's your turn, but you can swap and then they get to go.
Oh, so it's like Cold Steel.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess I could say Cold Steel 2. Has that come out within the last 2 years? It has, hasn't it?
On PC.
No, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It had. Two. I have not been waiting longer than 2 years for Cold Steel 3.
Man, we're old now. Yes, it's been that long.
It has not.
I think it came out the beginning of 2016.
So 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either Cold Steel 2 or I'm going to say Tales of Zestiria.
Tales of Zestiria.
I think it's been over it, but it's like over the limit. But I really wish people don't. Ben, be quiet.
Ben, I'm on your team, Ben. It's okay.
No,
I'm sorry you guys didn't do the orbs at the right times, okay?
I'm sorry that you guys just
That's
like
not
bad
the only
games.
reason. I don't think I think I gave Zestiria like a 7.5, and I agree with that. But man, there were points in that game that I really.
There you go. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, the anime does fix it.
Don't torture yourself with the game. Just watch the anime.
I'm never going to watch this Zestiria. Never happened.
So good though.
I believe you, but that will never happen.
Why are you giving it to me?
Because it's belongs behind you. Oh yeah.
Where?
So
there's priorities. It's way down here.
So Zestiria, we have the Zestiria anime, and I figured out there's a Zestiria manga, and it's coming today.
I don't know why you got that.
Yeah.
Okay, because the Zestiria anime's second half is completely different from the game.
Just put it.
And I wanted to see if
I'll hug it.
the manga does the same.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a huge hint at the end of the anime.
Yeah. Whatever. We already talked about it. Fine. I'll say Cold Steel 2. Okay? We're all happy with that?
That's fine.
You can say Zestiria. It's okay, Manny.
It's weird because it's very. Either you really hate it or you really
like
love
it.
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed.
I'm on the hate wagon.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie.
We made a joke about you throwing it away.
Yeah, remember what was in a video.
True. Oh boy. What do you? So. What? Oh, okay.
I don't think there's anything else.
No?
I mean, we've all talked about how much me and Nick love Cold Steel, so there's not a lot to say.
That was year one of Giant Sword Podcast.
That's true. Reen Schwarzer here. This is his third outfit, but
we loved so much that the reason why we had Sean Chiplock on
was because of
Reen.
you, because of Reen. That was the reason.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And now he's blown up.
Now he's Subaru.
Yep.
Now he's Subaru. Yeah, I guess that's my pick because all my other games are like, I don't know, been playing either old stuff or stuff that's popular.
Knows,
so.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Ben? What is your underappreciated, underacclaimed?
I have one that I haven't finished, and then one that I have finished. The one that I haven't finished that I would love to get back to, and really liked what I played of it. I thought the battle system was really cool. I thought it had a good, lighthearted vibe about it. Is Cosmic Star Heroine. That is one that I need to get back to at some point. And Ys 8 would be the one that I would recommend that I have finished. And I am no Ys expert by any means. I've played some of Ys Origin. There's another one that I messed around with on PSP, but not to any significant degree. And then, so essentially, Ys 8 was my first Ys game, and I loved it. It was very, very cool.
Very fun.
Yeah, it just building up the village and how much was involved in that, I thought was really cool. Defending it was really fun. The world was very well designed. There's a lot to uncover. The combat was extremely fast and snappy, and you just moved. And I loved how easily you could switch between people. It was great. It wasn't too long. It didn't feel especially bloated. There was no like extreme repetition or anything like that. Yeah, Ys8 was cool.
Who did you play the most of with?
Who did I play the most with? My characters I played with the most with?
Yeah.
I honestly, and this is not usually the case with me. Usually I tend to stick with the same people over and over again, but I feel like I mixed it up pretty well in Ys8, honestly. I used the guy with the gun a lot, whose name I can't remember.
Hummel.
I used Hummel a lot.
Sean Shiplock, yeah, you're right.
And the green-haired girl I used a lot at the end as well. Yep. I'm very bad with names, but yeah, I used her a lot.
Cool. I still haven't got her yet.
Oh yeah, you stopped playing that game a long time ago.
Yeah.
She's very powerful.
She is.
Oh boy, there are little kids here.
There are little kids here.
Oh,
sorry
so
if you
little
hear.
kids run into the screen, that's what that is. So I don't know if this counts. I'm gonna say it counts anyway. So whatever. But I'm gonna say Dragon Quest Builders.
Ooh.
That game is
I like your stuff.
So good. And it just came out on Switch, and it's just like, I feel like it's perfectly paced. It's like one of those games where you're like doing stuff. Oh, I get a new townsfolk, and they need something new that I haven't built yet. Okay, let me go out and build it. Oh, and then there's like 2 more people, and there's just so much creativity in how you can build your towns and the armor you get. And like as you go to new worlds, you just get like crazier contraptions that I never messed with. Like there's a whole minecart system that you can like build a roller coaster and stuff with. I never even touched it. There's like there's this boss fight. I think you exclusively have to fight with cannons, and like on this little car you can drive, and it's like wild. And the sequel is coming out, I think, this year in Japan. They have like hang gliders, and there's multiplayer, and there's swimming.
Hang gliders.
Yeah, it just
reminds me of
so
Cube
good.
World. Do you remember that game?
I remember Cube World.
Oh my god, Cube World.
Cube World was
Wow.
a fun time.
That's a
See,
deep
you're making me second guess myself, because Dragon Quest Builders is like a happy place game for me, where like I feel no pressure to finish it. It's just whenever I play it, whenever I need to relax, like it's there for me, and it's like kind of comforting knowing it's there. But you describing all of these things that I haven't seen yet makes me second guess myself.
Ooh, okay.
I should make it a priority to finish that when I can.
It's and like I feel like this is like a meme at this point, but it's really a perfect Switch game, because you can really like do a quest, build up your town a little bit, turn it off. Like you could just do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And I beat it on PS4, and I was like this close to buying it and playing it again on Vita, and then they announced it for Switch, and I'm like, do I want to play it again on Switch? I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait for 2. But I would say Builders. Like I think it probably sold enough to justify bringing it over here, but I don't think it like blew up in the way that maybe they were hoping it would. Because like all the buzz was like, it's Dragon Quest meets Minecraft, and everybody loves Minecraft, so play this. But yeah, Builders. Everybody should play Builders. It's real good.
I feel like Dragon Quest Builders is the Minecraft for people who, not that they aren't creative, but like accomplishing stuff, like progression, which is what always made it a lot more interesting to me. Like it's not just, hey, go build. It's like, do this quest, finish the story, meet these characters.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
The mod Minecraft.
That's a really good description, actually, because me and Nick played Minecraft a little bit, and I'm like, I can see the appeal, but I never understood what to do. But this one, it's like, okay, build a blacksmith so you can make weapons. Okay, now go mine some stuff so you can make better weapons. Okay, this person needs a room, go build a room. And just like this really slow, nice progression. And like you said, it's got happy vibes,
It's
not intense by any means. There's no crazy story. It's just
no zombies. No,
there are zombies, I think. Because there are these points when monsters attack your base, and you have to like build up defenses. And I remember watching Brandon Jones do a stream where he built like this giant moat around his base, and so nobody could get into it. They would just like fall down the moat and drown. And then I think he had spikes at the bottom. Like he just had this crazy contraption built.
He is a Dragon Quest Builders master, and I don't say that lightly. Like that dude knows you need any help in Dragon Quest Builders, he can help you and do it better than any way that you thought to do it. for sure.
And 2 is gonna have multiplayer. I think that is the only thing that I think that stopped the original from being like near perfect, was there was no multiplayer. But like 2 on Switch with multiplayer is gonna be godlike.
Yep.
You gonna do Switch? You're not gonna do PS4?
Probably Switch, if it doesn't run like crap. Because yeah, we've had some bad run-ins with bad Switch ports. Like I played Knights of Azure 2 on Switch not too long ago, and it crashed on me like 9 times. It was pretty bad.
Damn.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You beat it.
I did beat it though, somehow.
I always feel like I'm willing to forgive one crash. They're like, hey, everybody has a bad day, video game, but 9? Yeah, that's like throw it in the trash level of frustrating.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that happened. I don't know if you played No Man's Sky when that launched, but like literally every time I jumped to light speed, it crashed. It was really bad.
Yeah, I reviewed No Man's Sky. I think I had 1 or 2, but I didn't have that level of problem for sure.
Try playing Secret of Mana.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the remake has
crashed every hour. Luckily, every time you go into a room, it autosaves, but
that helps.
Let's go to our next topic. This one's not as long.
Okay.
When we started Giant Sword Podcast, all of us discussed how worried we were about the state of JRPGs. Flash forward 2 years, and now look at the state of things. Are you surprised about the 180 that has occurred?
I wasn't here.
Yeah, you weren't here, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Just thinking about it.
Yeah, well, like, I think we all had hopes that all these games, because there was a game announced for every major franchise. Like, we had Dragon Quest, I think 11 was maybe, I don't know if 11 was announced at that point, but Persona 5 was definitely announced, Final Fantasy 15 was announced, Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I mean, a lot of these games still aren't out.
I know.
But I think we all hoped Persona 5 was going to be as good as it was, but the fact that it was in the pantheon of Game of the Year contenders with like Zelda and Horizon and on, like, I don't think anybody expected that. But I'm shocked, because PS3 was a really dark time, and even the beginning of PS4 we were getting like trash like Omega Quintet and all this garbage. So like
Omega Labyrinth C,
yeah, banned in the UK. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited where it's at.
Oh yeah,
definitely surprised.
I mean, we started off, and the only JRPG that was really out was Tales of Hysteria,
and we all know how that went.
I was happy. I think the good thing was I had no expectations of that game at all. I was like, oh, it's a Tales game, I'm gonna buy it. Okay, and I played it, and I'm like, I enjoyed the characters.
I'm just gonna stop there because I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but yeah. What do you think, Mr. Ben? Are you kind of surprised at the turnaround?
Yeah, this is something we've talked about before at Easy Allies, but I am honestly shocked. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I think the thing for me is kind of the decentralization of video game coverage, and I think that has been a huge benefit to niche genres, because working at game trailers all the time, this is not an embellishment at all. Like, this happened where like we would always have meetings like, okay, this is worth covering, this is not. Like, it was about volume, it was about reaching the most amount of people. Where are we going to allocate our resources? I think with the rise of Twitch and YouTube, you've got these individual creators who have as much pull, if not more pull, than those big sites, and they can talk about whatever they want. And I think that in no small part, I don't think there's like any magic bullet you can point to with one YouTuber or anything like that, but I just think collectively people are getting their information from a bunch of different sources now, rather than just going to IGN or just going to GameSpot or something like that. And I have nothing against those sites. That's not what this is about. I just think like the way Nier Automata was given attention, I don't think would have happened 3 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, definitely not. Or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or those sorts of things, where I think you have people that care about that stuff that have kind of bubbled up to having a bigger platform in a lot of ways. And that's great. I think you see a lot of people. You see it with Yakuza 0, for example. where people are like, this is my first Yakuza game. I didn't know about this before. I'm going to give it a chance, and I love it. And you kind of have these things hitting at the right time where it's like, you can play Persona 5 and jump right in. You don't need to play all of this other stuff to appreciate it. You can play Yakuza 0 and jump right in on this console that you already have. And so I also think game companies are presenting the right things at the right time as well, and that's really important. That's actually something that I think is a little bit frustrating for Tales, where it's like, hey, if you want to get the whole story, this is the kind of commitment you need. And I have to wonder if that turns people away. I have no idea. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a non-factor. But something to think about, for sure.
Trails? Trails, not Tales?
Trails. Did I say Tails?
You said Tails, yeah. I was like, wait a second.
I thought you were
Zestiria,
throwing shade at Zestiria again. I'm like,
no. I was talking about Trails. Trails in the Sky, Cold Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, with Cold Steel, I mean, they did a PS4 remaster in Japan, and I still hope against hope that we get that, because I think that would, like, I watched the PC version, and it's like a different game, so I hope that we get that. The what do they call it? Kai?
They called it Kai.
Yeah. So that'd be nice to get both.
We're still waiting for number 3.
I was gonna make the joke.
Number 4 now. We still have 3 and 4 to come.
Yeah, I was gonna make the joke of like, oh, fall releases. You forgot about Sen 3.
Yeah, Sen 3's not gonna happen.
I know.
Beginning of 2019, I bet.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good window for it. I like what you said about, you know, these smaller games that wouldn't have gotten getting attention now. Like the idea that Yoko Taro is non-ironically getting like people are wanting him to direct the next Final Fantasy. Like, if you said that with the first in here, people would have thought you're a crazy person.
I say this as no joke. I think a large part of it has to do with the character designs in Automata. Like,
that's fair.
I think a lot of it does, and it's crazy to me that that reached the level that it did, and I think it's just people think 2B looks cool, and that's fine. I think that happened with Final Fantasy VII and Cloud to some degree as well. And I don't know if you guys watch Maximilian, but he always talks about the importance of how things look, and I think that's true for JRPGs just as it's true for anything else. You know, it's okay if people start being interested in something because they think 2B is cool, then they find this game that has this crazy story and structure and world, and then they fall in love with it. That's a good way to go about things.
Then they find this game with anime waifu babes. Or blades.
Yeah, we were having this discussion on our Discord, Pyra or Mithra. I mean, you can't. They're just both the best.
Boy.
But, yeah.
Unless it's a harem, then you just have all of them.
There you go.
I unironically really like Pyra and Mithra, so that's just me. I know a lot of people don't like their designs, but
yeah,
that's just me.
I like it all. It's all good.
Good.
And to me, I think I've said this many times before, but you know, in 2010 when I was moving back from South Korea and I was like rediscovering games, and I found Persona 4, and it was my favorite game for a really long time. And it's this niche game, and the idea that it's up there as a Game of the Year contender is like wild to me. You know, like these small, and Nier as well. I mean, Nier Automata got you know, a lot of Game of the Year contender votes. So
yeah, I think like looking back at the history of Persona 4, like Persona 4 Golden was the smartest thing that they did with that, where I think any game that gets critically acclaimed, giving it a second chance, especially at the beginning of a new platform, is brilliant. Like you're going to take something that had the potential for success and really shoot it through the moon. And so I hope, like, that would be great for Trails, right? Like imagine this Switch collection for Trails and sprucing it up in some way. Like I think that would be a good shot in the arm for it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the smartest thing would be at E3, they just announced Persona 5 Ruby for Switch, and
you just want to win the bet.
It's too soon. I need the dancing games first.
We can have it all, you know.
No, too soon. You need to spread it out.
Nah.
So they're going to show the release dates of the dancing games at E3, and then they're gonna be like, but wait, there's more. Persona 5 Arena.
No. Never gonna happen.
No, the next news we get is more about Q too.
I forgot about.
Oh yeah, Q2's a thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey. Persona. It's Arena.
Q2's gonna be cool.
It is.
It is. Or no, it's
but
like,
we want the dancing games.
Oh, I want the dancing games.
I want the arena game. I want to see.
The order that I would put it in for priority to me personally would be Persona 5 Arena, Persona Q2, dancing, and I like all of them. But that would be the order.
Don't you want to see
Team Dance.
older you,
Team Dance, and I'm
older
really sorry if I
Rise,
just-
older Chie, older all this? All...
No, I don't care. I care about getting to rank 2 worldwide in songs again. I'm rank 2 worldwide in Dancing All Night.
Spends too much time playing that game. You haven't played it for a while.
You want me to go pick it back up? I can just go play a couple
After
songs.
the podcast.
Okay.
So somebody tossed out a really terrifying idea. What if we didn't get the Vita versions of the dancing games?
Well, she's
I
getting
don't care.
the-
I'm getting I'm getting the PS4.
I only want the Vita version.
I have to stream it. So,
Hey, we were able to stream the Vita versions.
yeah, with delays that messed me up so
You
much.
got King Crazies.
Yeah, but not as much as I used to.
Oh, Muffin.
I used
Well, we're running longish. Do we want to toss
We're
in
not
a few?
running long.
Yeah, we are. It's an hour and a half in.
Yeah, I can't find it. Where are you?
Oh, I got the
There you
questions.
We got some
in.
questions right here.
There you go. So,
I'm very guilty of that. I'm sorry. I make things run long.
No, this
That's
is all
good.
good stuff. I just don't want to keep you two.
all right. So from our, if you want to ask us questions, you could join our Discord. And there's a question tab for that. From Smashimus, new season, new anime. Any new shows this season? This anime season? What are your thoughts on them? Maddie, we know what you're talking about.
It's so good.
I'll let my merch speak for me.
She really likes the Persona 5 anime.
How good is it?
Well, okay, the fight scenes do look a little cheap, just a little bit, but it's like not enough to break it for me, right? So far, things are going good. I'm really looking forward to next episode.
Apparently, they're gonna do one major change from the game.
Uh-oh.
I know
What
they've
would it
announced
be?
that they're gonna do one major change. They're gonna be like, when you see it, it'll all make sense. And I'm like, okay, this could be a couple of things, but like,
I already know the change.
no. So either they could go canon with a girl, they could make him have a palace, Joker have a palace,
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
like a
Well, they did make-
he has
they
his
did
own
make
palace
you
arc.
have a shadow.
They did. Those are the two ones I have going. And then the aftermath, or they could just make it be like the aftermath of the moment, we will call it. Because in the game, that's pretty like subdued, whereas I think in this it's going to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So the moment when he
moment.
finally asked out his teacher. Pretty good.
Yeah, so Persona 5 anime.
With new seasons for me, I tend to, of course I'm going to watch My Hero Academia.
Of course.
And then Persona 5. But then all the new shows, I'm going to wait for a couple episodes to come out, see what everyone's talking about, and then I'll start watching them.
That's
So I haven't even watched, I didn't watch anything from last season. Like, no one has told me anything to watch.
Last season.
You didn't watch MMO Junkie?
That was 2 seasons ago.
Was it
I think.
2 seasons
I think
ago?
so. Yeah.
And I watched it last season. I've gone on a weird anime tick randomly because on YouTube there's this meme called "Always Use Incognito Mode."
Okay.
You've seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
it sounds funny.
Okay, so
I legitimately haven't seen it.
okay, so it's like a Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay.
It's in game, and the guy sits down, pulls out like a phone. And then,
the little remote
and then
control?
it starts watching anime, and there's always really weird, out of context scenes, like really weird, like Oni-chan, scenes.
Yeah.
And then when it's about to get super awkward, all these people just burst from the walls, goes, "You're under arrest! Put your rat down!" So I went on a binge and watching that meme, and there's a bunch of anime. I'm like, this is really weird. I want to watch this. So one of them was something called Mysterious Girlfriend.
Okay.
And it's super weird.
That's the most generic fucking title I've ever
No,
heard.
it is, right? I think it's like Mysterious Girlfriend X. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Oh, the X
And-
just makes it better.
No, and it's about drool.
Oh, I've seen that one. Oh, it's so weird.
It's so weird.
And they really the animation of the drool is way better than it has any right to be. It's
the girl could figure emotions out just from your drool.
it's
And
You know,
Yeah.
Normally, when people recommend games and anime, I'm usually like, "Oh man, that sounds cool. I want to check that out."
No, this one's weird.
This one, I'm not.
Yeah. No, don't.
Hard pass.
It was extremely weird. That's why during that week I was like, "What anime have you ever watched? Like a weird anime or something like that?" And that's why I put it. I was like, "Wow, this is really weird." I binge watched it and I'm like, "Okay, that was." It was just this generic like rom-com, but with like weird emo girl drool thing.
Yeah,
Great.
That was a weird one. For sure.
Did you watch it?
I watched a couple and I'm like, I can't do this.
You can't do that.
I just had to turn it off. It got too weird.
Yeah.
Just not a big fan of drool.
Yeah, that's the weirdest.
I don't want to see like highly animated drool.
Drinking that drool.
Yeah. It got too real.
I forgot the name. Taki. The big forehead girl.
Oh, that one. Yeah, Takaki-san or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the one I watched a lot last season. It's like these junior high, this guy and this girl, and the girl's always like teasing him. And yeah, it's
very cute.
Yeah, it's way too cute.
Like every episode, I just had a smile on my face, and I don't know why. It's just like, oh, this is cute, but it's weird that I'm watching sixth graders like having their first crush, but it's just super cute.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Right now I'm kind of in Nick's boat. I'm waiting for episodes to catch up. I just finished watching Haikyuu, which is a volleyball anime, and yeah, I really like that. As someone that has a lot of fond memories of sports in high school, that one hit pretty hard. So Haikyuu's real good. But yeah, I think this season I've got on my subscription list, I have Persona 5, My Hero Academia, and then Food Wars. I tried watching.
You thought Drool was weird? Food Wars is weird.
Oh, I know. They're like clothes explode when they eat good food.
I don't understand why people
that's
like
another
this
weird
anime.
one.
I don't get it.
What?
You've never watched Food Wars?
No. I'm one episode behind on Food Wars.
Oh,
I'm basically caught up.
Okay.
But you have to give it a chance.
I know.
It's weird.
I have to give it a chance.
It's
Yes,
good. Like
yes.
there's
You'll
fan
be more
service.
emotionally invested than you think you ever possibly could be.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really.
I have a
good
deal for you, Ben.
No.
No, Food Wars is great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really sweet characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like
The
there's
current kind of thing that they're going through is really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there is a good amount of fan service, but it like Ben, you get really connected to the characters. Yeah, it's cool.
It's like watching Orimo.
The freaking like the clothes popping off with the food is always an element, but it's like the cherry on top. Like there's a lot more there. It's not just all in service of that one joke
Right.
over and over.
Exactly.
See the clothes exploding would be part of that incognito meme. It would just be like
I will say, episode 1 probably gives you a bad first impression though, because
Oh my God.
episode 1 has like really intense fan service for sure. But
Yeah.
apparently it's like really bad in season 1, but in season 2 and 3 it's
It progressively gets.
it does. Yeah,
less.
that's true.
There is a character that only wears like a towel though at all times, and I don't really understand him, but he's like the head of the little dormitory they live in or whatever.
He's a happy guy. You
Yeah.
would think that a guy that is just always naked, except for this apron, would be like kind of a creep, but you really turn around on him pretty quick. Yeah, he's all right.
Yep.
He's all right.
Have you been watching any new shows, Ben?
I've been watching things that are new for me. One that kind of hurts just because I was liking it so much. I was watching Ancient Magus Bride, but I was watching that with the girlfriend, and so we can only watch it when we're together, and we just haven't been able to make a lot of time for that, so that's kind of stalled. But I have been watching. That's not current, so I won't bring that up. But I've been watching Darling in the Franxx, and Kill la Kill is the show that kind of reignited my love for anime, and I haven't really felt this way. The feelings that Kill la Kill summed up, I'm getting a lot of vibes from that in Darling in the Franxx, and I love it. It's such a cool show. Apparently there's a lot of controversy happening with like episode 14. I have no idea what happens. I'm on like episode 6, so I'm getting there. But it's great. It's Trigger, so it's really fun to watch. The action's great. The characters are great. The setup is bizarre, but extremely entertaining. And it deals with things like teenage drama pretty effectively. So I love that. Yeah, I would recommend that one a lot. I want to watch Megalobox. There's been so much hype for it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Hype is through the roof. So I want to check that out. I haven't watched it yet, but there's another one that it's another new show this season that I wanted to watch.
Oh, the horse girl one, Uma Musume.
No, that's not. That's not it. That's not the horse girl. I've seen murmurings of the horse girl one, but no, it's not that.
You were watching that.
Yeah, I watched about 3 episodes, and it's like you get the sense that it might be an interesting sports anime, but it's like I found out that it's essentially an ad for a mobile game in Japan, and I'm like, oh, so that like it starts to reveal its like shallowness pretty quickly. So I'm like, I don't think I want to sit through all this. There's like too much good stuff right now. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things I want to. I actually want to give the Sword Art Online alternative a shot.
Oh, all I see is that girl with the pink Uzi or whatever, like the pink girl. Yeah.
What else?
You gotta finish Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah,
well,
I have to finish it.
I'm waiting for all the English. They're gonna take forever to get all the English episodes out.
They're
but
in the Goku Black. They're in the Goku Black saga. So.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
I mean, haven't you seen the clip where he's like, where Trunks is like, "Hey, don't shoot him. He's not black."
Wow. Out of context, right there. Yeah.
Violet Evergarden on Netflix is another thing that I need to watch. That's like I've been aware of for a long time, and now is finally available on Netflix. And I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, our Discord has been talking about that one a lot, and I haven't seen it, but that one's kind of been staring at me as well.
I'm just waiting for season 3 of my youth romantic comedy is not as expected.
Are they doing another one?
I don't know. I want to. There's so much more. It ends on a cliffhanger.
It was funny because in Maddie's podcast, they were talking about Oran High School Host Club, and there's like apparently more. And I'm like, don't give up hope. Super came 20 years after Z, so anything's possible.
Well, yeah, it continued during the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff I've heard.
Are you going to read the manga now?
I don't... No, probably not.
See,
maybe.
The next Snafu, which is my romantic comedy, is coming out this Tuesday, so I'm happy about that.
Nice.
From
So
April,
white.
I think we kind of covered this already. Are game reviews dying out?
We did cover this.
Most people these days.
Yes.
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 Yeah, I think we actually.
I feel like we had a pretty good discussion on that earlier. Yeah.
From Faye Fan, which is just Cole.
Of course it is.
What makes grinding bad and what makes it good? It can really kill my interests with games like Tales.
If I could,
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
it depends on the person. One, I feel.
Did you ever have to grind with Tales?
No.
Yeah.
This is in general though, right?
No, he said.
He's talking about when he was in Grace's. So, okay, so if people don't know, Cole, person in our Discord, played Tales of Grace's F for, I think, the first time, but he played it on the maximum difficulty, and he hated using items. So he was forced to grind. So he was forced to grind for a long period of time in order to beat bosses, obviously. And so I think that killed it for him, though we don't really understand why he did that to himself.
He did it again. He's doing it again.
He's doing it again
Sky 2.
in Sky 2. We don't understand, but if I see a reward that, like, after a reasonable amount of time, I get an extra thing to help me do something better, I will love grinding. But if it's like you can only like progress the story if you gain 10 levels, that pisses me off. Like, I want to be able to continue at my pace, but if, hey, I could go do that and get the sword and then fight the boss with a sword, I'm all for it. Monster Hunter has gotten me addicted to grinding. There's just constantly new things to get.
That's just all you do
There's
in Monster
constantly
Hunter.
rewards, just reward, fight the thing better. As long as there's that reward there in the distance, I see it. I will grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Or you could do side quests in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and then go to the inn and gain like 10 levels.
See, I don't even... see, that is... What Maddie just said is what happened to me in Xenoblade. So there are parts in the story where you need abilities for your blades, or you literally cannot progress in the story. And,
it's pretty bad.
And,
yeah.
like, you can say, lol, get good, or whatever you're going to say,
but...
but it's annoying when you don't have it. So there's this part for... I'm trying to get Poppy's final thing. I mean, this is a side quest, but you need to get Poppy's final form, and to get it, you either need one battery, or you need a bunch of items. And so the one battery you can only get with these 2 rare blades. It's the oh my god,
You just need the salvaging.
the salvaging ability, and I have like 50 blades. My blades are maxed out, and nobody has it. So I'm like, well, that sucks. I just can't. I have to just grind salvaging or keep rolling blades in the hope I get. So like that kind of stuff annoys me. And there was a couple others that were like that. I'm like, okay, let me find what dessert is this one like, so I can level up their ability. Okay, let's go. Like, yeah, that was quite frustrating. And the battles are not short in Xenoblade. Even like a random trash mob takes like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I walked in on him doing that, and I'm like, I don't know what the heck is. He's like just laying there, just like kind of like not even moving his buttons, and I'm like, I see things happening on the screen, and I'm like, what are you even doing? No, Taylor. It's just the damage. I'm like,
are these still long
I don't understand.
Yeah, well, you saw me. I'm like 4 levels. I'm like under leveled, so I have to go grind.
He's at the world tree, and he's level 60, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, I left because I'm like, all right, I gotta go do some side quests because I just don't have enough. But you know, one place I actually really did enjoy grinding, as boring as it on the surface looks like, is Mementos, because it's literally just like random dungeon. I liked filling the map out.
Yeah,
because it's just like there is a map of the floor. Let's completely fill the map up. Oh, good. Now we're done. Because the battles in Persona 5 are really snappy.
Well, they're snappy and fun. And then for me, there's always that reward, right? So it's like you have to, you kind of have to do it anyway, I think, for story points. Yeah. But then there's like, okay, get more money so I could get that SP patch or the extra, extra healing items or and while you're doing that, you're grinding out levels. So you get, like all these things are adding up to. I spent so much time. I think I spent 3 hours at once in one sitting in Mementos, just like constantly talking down shadows and being all like, you could give me more, you could give me more money, and then they'd fight back, and I'm like, and you're dead, thanks for the money, okay, moving on.
And then you got all the personas that make the awesome persona with...
Yeah, and then I was getting personas to craft like really good personas, so like it's always, for me, I have to have that reward or something, a goal I'm striving for to make the grinding fun, and I'll do it. Grinding can be fun.
Monster Hunter is that like perfectly epitomized, because that's like literally all it is. It's like, I need a better item, let's grind. All right, now let me get the next one. Let's grind. 300 hours later, well, we're still not done.
It's like
I just found out light bow guns, and now I'm like...
Legend of Dragoon. I got a new edition. Okay, just gotta do the same thing over and over again to level it up. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Like, I don't really mind the grind. I don't think there's been one game that the grind has gotten to me.
To me, I will say the one game where, like, not including
there's never been a game where the grind has gotten to you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Wow.
He's lying.
Can you try?
He's lying.
Okay, try to name one. Name a game that you think... What?
First Xenoblade.
Xenoblade what?
Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't know. The thing you played on Wii U.
Oh.
You were getting so mad at how many things you had to fight during that game.
Oh, yeah.
I found one.
That was the grind. I wasn't grinding, though. I was just going through the game, and I'm like, get away from me. I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
I will say, this might be, like, whatever, but, like, I'm trying to just get through, I said this earlier, Dragon Quest 8, but, like, I feel that game, like, is pretty grindy. Even with it sped up. And I'm like, I like everything around it, but I wish I could level up faster or something. Because I love the story, I love the characters, music, all that, but, man, those battles take forever.
You know what I love the grind? Final Fantasy Tactics. And Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
That's a good one.
I've been streaming Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just grinding, and you're going to enjoy it. I gotta level all. I gotta get all the abilities.
You know, it's a great grinding game.
What?
World of Warcraft.
Yes, true. All right,
wait, does Ben have an opinion on grinding?
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like I fall in the middle on this, where like grinding has kind of fulfilled this weird purpose now in contemporary times, where it's like, oh, there's this show I need to get through, but I'd never have time for, or this YouTube channel I want to get caught up on. It's like, well, I also need to play this game that requires like maybe 10% of my brain. So let me do that. And that's when I love it, because I'm somebody that likes background noise too. I have Twitch on all the time, pretty much all day, whatever I'm doing. And so I enjoy that when it's a game that I need to grind anyway. It's like when I was a kid, I used to hate grinding. In fact, I used to run from a lot of battles just because I was so impatient. But now I kind of really love the times where it's like, okay, I can slowly make progress in this and then do this completely unrelated thing. I'm making progress in two things. It feels great. But I'm playing through Rating Historia Perfect Chronology for this video that I'm working on. And it's great. It's really great. And I'm getting closer to the end. I think I just hit level 50, or I'm like 49 or something like that. So reasonably far.
Getting closer to the end.
Getting closer to the end. And it's great. It's a great game, and it has a very, very fascinating battle system. The problem that I have with it is there are moments that I'm kind of going through one of them right now where it's like, okay, I need some more levels. And the battles aren't hard, but they're really slow. And it's like, okay, well, in order to do this battle efficiently, I gotta knock this dude over here, and then I gotta alternate between physical and magical. And it's just, with a lot of the battles, it's hard to get through them quickly. And I think just kind of the speed of some of those fights where it's like I'm grinding and I'm not having to think too much about this, but every fight is just taking a little bit longer than I would like. But it hasn't dampened my enjoyment of it. I still think it's a great game and would highly recommend it.
Oh, what's the world? The 3DS content where you go in and you it's pretty much a grinding place, and you get like special it's called mementos. You get mementos.
Oh, really?
And then you try what's it called?
It's the Vault of Time.
Yeah, that.
I believe it is called. Yeah.
So when we were flying to Arizona, which is like an hour and a half, that's all I did. I just grinding that to grind my levels and to get all the new items. Yeah,
that place is really awesome because money is hard to come by in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great about mementos is there's like specific gear you can get with mementos, which mementos isn't that hard to get, and it will kind of like supplement you and fill you out a little bit and not have to grind as much to get money, which is cool. So yeah, the Vault of Time is neat.
Rating Historia, great game. That's another game that needs attention.
Yeah?
Yes, it's a very serious storyline, but it also has those funny anime moments as well. Perfect mix.
Nice.
For all of the RPGs that do time travel, I would have to think that Rating Historia like does it the best, if not one of the best, because it's not just like, hey, you're going to bounce around between different timelines. It's like, no, we're really going to make this part of the design where it's like you need to take this thing from over here and apply it to this, and this decision affects this stuff but not this other thing. And it's just the whole structure of the game, like time travel isn't just a theme, it's a core part of everything that you're doing in the game, which is really cool.
I love how all these different situations could just lead to the game over.
Yeah, like
there's two that I really like. It's someone, I'm not going to give it away, someone is like, I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to spend like the rest of my time with you, Stock. And you're like, okay. And then it's like, and it says they spend the rest of the time with each other until the continent became sand. I'm like, oh, okay.
It just ends.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where you actually have to fail to finish this side quest.
I like with those fail states that you trigger in Radiant Historia. I like that it's not just like you fucked up, game over. It's like, no, we're actually going to show you what happens. We're going to have some dialogue. They put more into those game over sections than I thought they would.
I hate when they're like very elaborate and they last for like 10 minutes and then it's like, oh yeah, you lost.
Oh, you lose. Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, thanks.
That reminds me of one of the joke endings in Nier Automata. I think it's with 9S. You're very clearly like you're on a scaffolding and you're like supposed to go one way, and I got confused. I'm like, I'm gonna go this way, and then randomly the game's like, and 9S wandered until the end of time, and then it was just over, and it like fast forwards through the credits, and I'm like, what just happened?
Radiata Stories from level 3 mics. I've tried it, but I never got like deep into it.
That's one of those deep cut like gems that I want to get to at some point too.
There are people within the Easy Icons community who recommend it very heavily, and I'd like to check it out. I've got it on the shelf. Got it. Just need to
grab it, Maddie. Grab it on the shelf.
Just need to play it at some point.
Nice.
PS2 game?
Yeah,
PS2 game, yeah.
Connor used to. He like swears by that game. He talks about that like on the same level as Xenogears.
Because it's like Suikoden. You could like recruit.
Oh,
anyone.
I used this for the back of the box.
Oh, that's funny.
I used this for back of the box with you guys.
Nice.
I haven't played that in a while.
Speaking of Suikoden.
Yeah, so from Keslo25, Suikoden question, Grimio, Great dude or greatest dude?
I don't know if this was targeted for me specifically, but no, Gremio is great, and I did not always feel that way about Gremio. Yeah, playing through Suikoden 1, just specifically with Gremio, he was kind of this annoying person who wasn't great in battle for me, and just didn't have the cool factor of some of the other characters. But what I really can't talk about it without getting into super heavy spoilers, but there's a thing that happens at the very end if you put in the work for getting all 108 stars. And a lot of times when you put in that much work for something, like something you spend the whole game doing, the payoff usually isn't that good, but I feel like the payoff is really, really, really wonderful in Suikoden. And it's an emotional payoff. It's like extra scenes that you get. It's very cool. So yeah, Gremio, great dude. I'm going to go on the record and say officially great dude.
Nice. I think I'm the only one here at the table that's beat the original, and I don't remember anything about it. This was like almost 10 years ago when I played it. So, but it was a good game though. I would give it 2 thumbs up, and I've heard only even better things about the second one, which I want to get to.
Going to be starting that full playthrough next week. So
nice.
Yeah.
From Spaghetti, I think this is a joke question. Which JRPG is best JRPG?
I don't know. I'd have to think really hard about this one.
Can series work?
No.
You can't say Trails of. Sorry.
You can't cheat.
I thought you would say Tales of.
Tales of, just play it. All of them. Except Symphonia. Don't play that one.
Ow.
That is nonsense. That is a nonsense thing to say.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've all answered this.
We've answered this question so many times.
Grandia is good. Is it best JRPG?
I don't know. I can't think of a best JRPG.
No.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dragon Ball FighterZ best JRPG.
There we go. Good.
Nothing is more anime than Dragon Ball FighterZ. Persona 5. I don't know. One of the personas.
There's a lot of.
This could feed into the next question.
No. These last 2 years, JRPGs have been amazing. It's kind of crazy.
It really is.
It's insane.
We're getting spoiled.
We are getting spoiled. Okay, from the last question, from Miner 456.
I don't know who that is. That must be somebody new on the Discord.
It's a newbie. Hello, newbie.
I'm a relative newbie with JRPGs. Only finished Paper Mario,
1,000 Year Door.
1,000 Year Door, and Chrono Trigger.
You're off to a great start.
Enjoyed both. What games would you recommend to get more into than genre? Clarify. I have a Wii, PS2, 3, 3DS, and PC.
Oh my gosh.
Not a PS4?
No PS4, no Vita. Ooh,
Ooh,
that's tough.
Ooh, that's tough.
So,
okay, but obviously you got to get into Final Fantasy. Play Final Fantasy 7. If you played Paper Mario and Chrono Trigger, you're good with playing old games. So play 7.
Luckily, a lot of Falcom games are on PC.
Ooh, play Trails in the Sky.
You can play Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel.
I'd play Sky first.
Good recommendation. Yeah.
First Sky.
You can also play Ys, like most of them.
Yeah, almost.
You can play almost all the Ys.
Yeah, I think they're putting out Celceta. 7 is on PC. Celceta is coming out soon on PC.
Yep.
But yeah, almost all of them are on PC. Yeah. Except don't play 8 because it's a trash fire apparently.
What?
The PC version of Ys 8.
Oh.
It's like so bad.
I would say if you get really after playing a couple of JRPGs and you're really into them, a staple for JRPG players is a Vita or a PSP, and then later on maybe a PS4 for all the new ones that are coming out.
Yeah, you got to get to Persona. I mean, I would say Final Fantasy and Persona are probably the best 2 in my opinion. Like if you just look down the series like top to bottom, like you're gonna find just really good stuff.
They said they had a Wii, right?
They had a Wii, yeah.
Okay, yeah. As somebody who played through Xenoblade Chronicles for the first time last year and loved it to bits, that is one that I would recommend.
Do not play it on Wii U.
Oh, the Wii on Wii U mode, yeah.
It lags like crazy.
Well, good for them. They don't have a Wii U.
I know.
Last Story is also not bad. I mean, it's not like the best JRPG ever, but it's pretty solid from the creator of
Sealed.
The Final Fantasy.
They can't see it.
Oh, yeah. Ben can see it.
Well, it's true.
That doesn't help out Minor though. Come on.
Whoa, you're covering up.
How
dare you do such a thing?
But like of all those systems, I think PS2 is just filled to the brim with like amazing JRPGs.
I mean, with PS3.
Yep.
With PS3.
You play Ni no Kuni.
And Ni no Kuni.
Yeah,
Graces?
No, I'm just saying you have all the PS3 classics, or PS1 classics, which a lot of JRPGs are
that's
on.
true. Yeah. So
you can play 7, you can play Final Fantasy 7, you can play 8, 9,
10.
You can play Grandia. Play Grandia! Everyone needs to play Grandia. Except 3.
So we gave them about 50 recommendations.
Yeah, so figure it out. Minor.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I recommend Sky as mine.
Cool.
Sky.
Man, yeah, I think if I had to pick one, it might be the first Trails in the Sky.
Wow.
It's just...
It's good.
It is good.
The thing is, I think part of the reason I say that is because they mentioned that they played through Chrono Trigger and Thousand Year Door. And I think Trails in the Sky actually has a comparable vibe, where it's not super serious. The characters aren't constantly screaming in your face. Like, Trails in the Sky is a lot of, like, pretty happy people being in a pretty cool world and just marveling at their own adventure. And it just puts you in a good place, I think, going through that kind of game. Like, Chrono Trigger is a very happy game. Thousand Year Door is a very happy game, and I think Trails in the Sky fits right there very comfortably with that.
I still don't know how you have not played Trails of the Sky 2 because of that ending.
Me?
He hasn't.
Yeah.
It's a...
Oh, I haven't either.
Here's the real... Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons, but part of the reason is that I just... So, a lot of things that I play that aren't contemporary, I feel like I have to make an excuse for, where it's like, okay, I'm going to play this old thing and we're going to make a video on it. Unless it's short, right? Like, I just played through, like, Onimusha and Castlevania 4 and Jet Set Radio, and it's like, oh, well, those are all short. But something like Trails in the Sky, it's hard for me to find time with that unless I make a video. And I did a Don't Skip for the first Trails in the Sky. That was great, but it would feel a little bit weird, I think, to do another Don't Skip on Trails in the Sky 2, where it's like, well, it's great if you've played the first one. I don't know. I just, it's harder to justify. Yeah. And I want to play it because I want to know what's going to happen.
Here you go. Here's the way you can justify it. Retrospective. There you go. You just wrapped up Dark Souls. Now you can do the Sky.
That is the worst way to justify anything. Oh, no. Cannot happen. Yeah. Off the table.
I know those take a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're odysseys to get through. I get.
And I think the worst thing is that Trails of the Sky 2 is like twice as long as 1.
And then there's the third one.
Then there's the third one. That one's shorter.
So Miner is like, he's hesitant to play, or she is hesitant to play Chrono Cross because they haven't heard good things. It is a totally different game, but it's still great. Like, I think I can say it's still probably my favorite game soundtrack ever. Like, the soundtrack is unbelievable. It's got a weird combat system where you have to, like, put these little, like, element chips into your, like, yeah, it's very different. But it's still a good game, I think.
Kathleen, it's twice as long for me, okay? Because I have to talk with everyone. Yeah. Twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I want to understand, but I don't understand. Okay.
You know what caused that? Was playing Trails of the Cold Steel. I was never like that. And then I just started talking to everyone. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And now it's become a habit where I started replaying Grandia, and I started doing it. I'm like, wait, I never talked to the NPCs in Grandia. What the hell am I doing?
What have I done with my life?
What have I done with my life? Like, with Falcom games, it has to happen.
Has to. Yep.
Well, you're not playing on a harder difficulty, Kathleen, so... She said,
Hashtag get good.
Yeah. But yeah, Chrono Cross is great.
Yep.
All right.
I think that about wraps it up.
That about wraps up. That's the last question. Thanks for Ben for joining us again.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
And if you want to plug yourself right now, this is where we can find you.
I honestly hate plugging myself, but I should do it for Easy Allies. You can find out more about what I do and the group that I work with. Truly great bunch of guys, very talented folk that do very weird things. You can find out more about them.
About us.
What's that?
Thanks for talking about us.
And you are all as well. Yeah, but if you want to find out more about Easy Allies, patreon.com/Easy Allies. All the information's there. I'm Ben Moore. If you want to occasionally see pictures of my cats, you can follow me at BenMoore035 on Twitter.
Can confirm his cats are adorable.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
It makes me happy whenever I see those cats.
They're cats hugging.
Because it's the perfect color. They're orange tabbies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. And if you guys are brand new, because we have a lot of viewers today, we do release the YouTube, if you missed part of it. The YouTube and iTunes version of this episode will be up on Tuesday. Yes, we are on iTunes and SoundCloud. So just search Giant Sword Podcast. We'll be right there. We stream on this channel all the time. Stop posting your thing.
I'll post another one.
And I'm talking to Maddie, sorry. And yeah, next week we'll be here at 1 p.m. And thanks.
We have who is on next week?
We have Mike from Dark Pixel Gaming.
Yeah, so talk about retrospectives. I think he's done one in the entire Final Fantasy series or something.
And he recently talked about Alliance Alive. I think it's Alliance Alive.
Yeah.
And Raiden Historia.
So yeah, if you're a fan of his, tune in next week.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back next week. See ya.